Oh man, so Bitcoin is down 4.5% today. Is the big day. We get the outcome from the FOMC meeting. Yes, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell will come out today and announce his next big rate hike, and the market are making no excuses for exactly what they want. We're going to break that down in this video, explain exactly what the market is expecting, how the market could move when we get this decision, okay? So if we get a strong rate hike, what happens? If we get a weaker one, what happens? We're going to break that down and the key levels. So make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get straight into this video. And the first thing we can see is Bitcoin is down quite heavily again, down 5%. In yesterday's video, you will remember, let's just flick over to the 5-minute chart that I mentioned. We were forming a double top pattern, okay? We were forming an M pattern with this yellow neckline here at around 21,740. And I mentioned at the time, you can watch the video from yesterday, that we set a price target of all the way down here, 20,291. So congratulations if you traded that. It's a really nice big movement. I mean, if you were to take this trade here, all the way down here to the downside, that's down 8% almost, which is a really good move to make on a 5-minute chart trade, even on spot, right? So you don't even need leverage. You don't need to get yourself wrecked. Nice, simple trade here using basic chart patterns. You guys can go ahead and do that using BYBIT. If you haven't got yourself set up on BYBIT, go get yourself set up. You're going to get up to $4,000 in bonuses. So make sure you get yourself set up on BYBIT. You've also got PRIMEXBT offering one of the best bonuses right now of $7,000 when you deposit, to get yourself set up on there as well. The great thing with PRIMEXBT is you can do a bunch of copy trading, but you can also do currency swap, currency purchases, forex as well. Okay, so that's really important. I'm going to come on to why that's important, because we've seen the US dollar really show a lot of strength in this market, and a lot of other European currencies really struggling right now. Okay. So Bitcoin is here. We can see here we're kind of sitting here at 21,000. We've got this bounce just before the critical level of 20,000. This green line here is 20,000. That relates to the previous bull market high. We cannot lose this level. And you can see we've just got a bit of a relief bounce. But is this just another relief bounce, just like we said yesterday, where we had a little bit of a relief here before a bigger move to the downside? Is it just going to do that before then breaking through 20,000? And therefore, what could the implications be? Well, the first clue we need to look at is look at the pre-market data. And we can see the futures are opening up pretty green today. We've got the Dow Jones up 0.8%. We've got S&P up on the futures over 1%. And then NASDAQ 1.5%. So they're trying to rally here ahead of the Fed rate hike. Now, be very, very careful if you're trading in this period on a short-term time frame, because things can be very volatile leading up to such a critical meeting like the FOMC decision. Now, here's what to expect. The first thing we need to understand is that JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and various other really senior economists are now expecting the Fed to raise by 75 basis points. We've covered this for many days now. We can see if we head over to the futures and look at what the futures have priced in, 96.9% have priced in a triple rate hike, right? That's 75 basis point rate hike versus what previously was priced in, which was 50 basis points. Remember, the 50 basis points came because Jerome Powell in his last meeting, when he did the 50 basis point rate hike, said 75 basis points was off the table. But now it's come back with a larger CPI reading than expected, coming in at 8.6 on Friday. And that is another 40-year high, and not great, right? Inflation is not inflecting down. This is your inflation. It's not inflecting down by the 0.25 hike, nor did it inflect down from the 0.5. So now the market is saying, if you want us to trust you, Jerome Powell, rip off that band-aid, lift interest rates, and make us take you seriously. Because right now, people are not taking Jerome Powell seriously, and that is not good. So now the question is, what's going to happen? Because if we get a 50 basis point hike, contrary to previous meetings where a lower rate hike would lead to the market rallying, we could see the opposite. So if we get a 50 basis point rate hike, which you would have thought would be good for the market, we could see the market fall, okay? We can see stocks fall, and we could see Bitcoin fall. If we see 75 basis points, contrary again to opinion, that could then lead the market to rally. So we flip this now, okay? So if we get a lower reading, the market could fall. If we get a higher reading, the market could rally to say, okay, Jerome Powell's not messing about. He has got a bit about him, and he's going to rip the band-aid off. But we're like Goldilocks today, because Goldilocks wants the porridge just perfect. Because if Jerome Powell comes out with a 1% increase in interest rate hikes, it may be that the market goes, oh, no thanks, that's too much. We want you to rip the Band-Aid off, but don't start losing the plot now. We don't want a full 1% increase, okay? So we want this careful balance where the market wants 75 basis points. I think a 75 basis point would hit the nail on the head. It's what the market has priced in. They've not priced in 1%, okay? So the 1% will throw the market down even more. So if Jerome Powell comes out with 1%, kudos to him, because he's not shown that about him. He's been very delicate, and people, well, the market are even thinking 75 basis points is going to be too much for him to do. He's too soft. So let's see. He's got to deliver on that 75. If he delivers any less, I think the market's going to fall. Crypto will fall. Bitcoin will fall and go test that 20,000 level mark. And guess what? We really don't want to be testing that 20,000 level mark, because things get really, really nasty when we start losing this level. And we don't see much support. You've got a little bit in the 16,000 to 17,000 region and then back down to 14. So those are the levels. And we'll go into that in more detail. What if we breach 20,000? I'm certainly preparing for it. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but I'm preparing for a 20,000 breach, because that's the right thing to do. We've got to prepare ourselves for our altcoins and Bitcoin to breach that level, because trust me, if this breaches 20,000, things are going to get pretty nasty, because look at what's going on right now. Just as we're getting close to touching 20,000 like we did overnight, you can see here that fear and greed index has dropped to 7. Okay, 7. This is really, really low, and this is as bad as it gets here in the crypto space, right? You've got the Celsius issue going on. You've got the Tron stablecoin depegging. You've got financial markets worried about a global slowdown. You've got bond yields rising. And you've now got this new scope of increasing interest rates more aggressively. To put this into context, you know, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they're expecting between 9 and 10 rate hikes between now and early 2023. So they've increased the runway of the number of rate hikes and at least 50 basis point increments for the next 3. So even if we do get 75, at least another 50 and another 50. So no chance of a pause just yet or any relief. We've got a lot of work to do to get inflation down, okay? So that's going to make a huge difference. And the terminal rate has also increased. So the terminal rate was previously sitting from 2.75 to 3%, which is almost like the rate at which you can think about pausing, slowing down, but that's now been increased to 4%. So now markets are expecting us to get to 4%. We need to get to 4% interest rates and then can reevaluate from there. So really important meeting coming up today. I'll definitely be paying attention to that and bringing you guys updates. I may well live stream it. So comment below if you want to see that live stream, the FOMC meeting. Remember, it's not just the interest rate hike we get. We've also got the summary of economic projections. So we'll be going through that as well, which gives you your GDP reading, it gives you your inflation readings, and it also gives you your dot plot of where the Fed officials think interest rates should be hiked at each of the next meetings. Now, don't forget, this is an interesting graph for you guys. It's not gospel, but just something, because we need to use anecdotal evidence to give us a clue. Most times we've had FOMC meetings, we've managed to have a strong rally post the Fed meeting. So remember, the situation we need for a good rally today is 75 basis points, in my opinion. If we see 75 basis points, the markets will be like, okay, Jerome Powell's not too weak. He's coming out aggressively. He's getting ahead of inflation, and he's doing 75 basis points. If we see one whole percentage point increase, we could see a fall. If we see anything less than 75, so 50, we could see a fall as well, okay? So we've managed to see these runs. Another interesting piece of analysis I saw was that during the FOMC meeting, on average, you increase, you rally, but weeks later, when the minutes come out, you tend to see a fall, which is very interesting observation as well. So there you have it, guys. Jerome Powell's big day today. I mean, never have we seen crypto really need something like this, just for some glimmer of hope. Bitcoin balancing precariously on the balance beam of $20,000. And we really need the Fed to come out and not mess this one up, because we're at critical technical level and we need to see some recovery from here. I mean, you've got the S&P in bear market territory. You've got the NASDAQ well below bear market territory. You've got bond yields higher than they've been for 20 years. What a crazy time we're investing in. But if you're managing to do so and you're managing to navigate this situation, not panic sell, be rational, be pragmatic, be methodical, you really are going to be an investor for many, many years going forward. So that's really good. Keep learning, keep being patient, don't make any rash movements, and that's the key to success in investing. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. I'm going to link up a playlist of evergreen videos, binge-worthy content for you guys to catch up on. So if you've missed a whole bunch of my videos in terms of evergreen content and alpha, go watch those. You're definitely going to find plenty of videos which you'll learn from and you need to add to your arsenal. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.